My favourite subject at school was biology. I was always fascinated by the human body, and I wanted to do something where I could make a difference to people, where I was a caring role. When I was at school, I think I went through phases where I never thought I would be good enough to do medicine, and I thought about nursing, and then I thought about physiotherapy, and then I realised why not do medicine. So first 6 months was at the old Edinburgh Royal, which I really enjoyed. It had a real character about it. It was hard work, but I think it was one of the best 6 months of my life. Then I was at Bangor General, which has now become St John's, for 6 months. And then I did a 2-year medical rotation at hospitals, actually, which no longer exist, at the Eastern General in Edinburgh, and Milesmark and Dunfermline, and then back to the old Royal. I was going back to a time when we still had the team, and I worked on the same ward for the 6 months of my medical house job, and you were very much part of a team, and you didn't change around wards, and there was much more continuity of care. I think also you worked much longer hours, but the patients knew you. If you'd asked a patient who their doctor was, it would have been the house officer who was taking blood from them at 7 o'clock in the morning. And while you were doing that, you learned how to take blood well, but also you spoke to your patients and you got to know them. And they might have told you what was really worrying them, whereas they wouldn't have told the consultant on the ward round. Hello, Mr. McIntosh, how are you?
I'm fine today.
Okay. So, how's your weekend been?
It's been alright. I've had loads of visitors, my family and friends.
I think elderly people are fascinating. I think they have a lot wrong with them, so you can potentially help them more. They're a very nice group of people to treat. And I actually enjoy knowing the people who have a disease as people. And a lot of the patients are fascinating, and it's a shame, I think, that we're being driven by protocols. One of the things which I don't relish, although I probably should be relishing it, is the idea of a ward-round protocol. Whereas I actually enjoy interacting with my patients and getting to know who they are. A gentleman who had quite profound dementia, and he had a book on his locker about Frank Sinatra. So I said to him, do you like Frank Sinatra? And he suddenly then launched into, in full voice, I Did It My Way. And despite having dementia, he sang it absolutely word perfect. He also claimed that he'd sung with Frank Sinatra. I did identify from his daughter that didn't really happen. But, and it was particularly nice that there was a medical student there. So he saw the reality of the fact that older people may look frail and elderly, but they've had a life, and there's a lot of spirit about them. I think that the thing that I will most look back on, I think, is the humility that you feel a lot of the time when you interact with patients and their relatives. Despite the problems they have, how brave some people are. And you can't help but be humbled by the people that you encounter. And I think you never forget the privilege it is often to be involved with people at the most difficult times of their life and being able to make a difference.